Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King.
Greetings, friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement. Welcome to Bridging Generations, Voices of Men in a Changing World. This groundbreaking podcast delves into the multifaceted experiences of men across different generations in an era where societal norms and expectations rapidly evolve. This show offers young and older men a unique platform to voice their challenges, triumphs, and perspectives.
Each episode aims to foster understanding and bridge the gap between generations, exploring themes ranging from masculinity, mental health, to career dynamics and personal relationships. Whether it's a teenager grappling with the pressures of social media or a senior reflecting on the changing definitions of manhood, Bridging Generations is committed to uncovering men navigating the complexities of a changing world. I'm one of your co-hosts, Juan Marcel. Doc, what's new? What's going on this week, today?
And I tell you one thing that is going on for sure, right at this very moment, is that thing coming from Florida that is heading our way in Atlanta. Something so different.
Yeah.
Call it a hurricane.
Yeah. Category 2.
Yeah, that's big stuff. We're not used to things like that, are we?
No. We here in Georgia, around metropolitan, the metro area, it starts raining and folks just forget how to drive. They just forget how to drive. It gets crazy out there.
And not to mention that they closed everything down, right? That's on the notification.
Schools, yeah.
The notification. So let me welcome Donna on, our producer. She's staying on set with us tonight. Tonight is a special night. Hi, Donna.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I love that bucket hat you're wearing. Lady Donna. Yes, so special night tonight, of course. We have here with us my co-host. We're going to be talking to him, diving deep, having a conversation with him, with one that inspires action. So that's what tonight is all about. Of course, we're bridging generations. We're building a legacy. We're becoming iron. And tonight we're going to, have an in-depth conversation with Juan Marcel, my co-host. But before we go there, we always like to talk a little bit about what is happening in a collision with purpose world. But let me welcome anyone out there watching, listening to the show. Please stream, share, we welcome you. If you have any questions for Juan as we continue tonight, please, put it in the text, put it in the caption, and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. All right, so Donna, as always, you are the one that explains things best. So we ask that you do that for us. What is happening in a collision with purpose world? And let's focus on the thing they call the colloquium, because that's the next big thing.
Oh, wow. So Juan's going to definitely talk about this as well. But the colloquium, it's happening February 22nd, 2025 at Shiloh High School. Doors open at 5 p.m. Showtime begins at 6 p.m. And you definitely want to have a seat in that auditorium, because that is a place where we will be honoring individuals in our community that is just consistently doing the work of serving humanity in their community and surrounding areas. And also, we will have students that will be entertaining us. We will have scholarships that will be giving away, and definitely the book launch, Daily Insights, which is written by Dr. Stephenson. So you will have the opportunity to purchase your tickets, get a copy of the book, and get it autographed by none other than Dr. Stephenson. And, I like to tell individuals that this is something that is like no other event, right? You want to come in, basically just your spirit, your everything is just empty, like a vessel that is empty. You need to have space. You need to come in with an empty cup, because when you leave there, I guarantee that you are going to be filled with inspiration, motivation. You're going to walk out a totally different person. Something is going to ignite in you where you're going to realize that, hey, I may have been doing the work. I may have been walking in purpose. I may have been doing what I thought I was purposed to do, but you're going to realize that there's more that you can do. So you definitely want to have a seat in that room.
Let me welcome Mr. Garfield McCook. I'm wondering why he's not on set with us, why he is in the comment section. Anyway, big up Garfield. GIFs. Big thing happening with GIFs always. So we always want to recognize our friend, our co-worker, and our co-host, Mr. McCook. And anyone out there watching, we ask that you share the live, spread the word. They say sharing is caring, and that's what it's all about. So Juan, let's get you to make some comments here on what Donna just said. Let's follow up on what Donna just said.
Donna said a lot of great things. And I have to attest to, from our past event, this is major. It is the kickoff to what I call a great movement. She talked about just honoring and acknowledging and recognizing individuals in the community. Doc would always say, recognizing the unsung heroes. And I look at it on the level of something like, the Emmys, the Oscars, the Trumpet Awards, stuff like that, where we're honoring individuals who are committing themselves to doing a work that are committing themselves to a cause that is greater than them, that's bigger than them. And so we definitely want to reach out and just let them know that the community sees them, this nation, this world, because what we're doing, the good thing about it is global. So it's not just the States, this thing is globalized. It's international. So we want them to know that the world sees your work, the world recognizes you. So it's major, it's big.
It's interesting to hear you talk about honoring unsung heroes, because we're honoring you.
Yes.
So, it's interesting to hear you talk about that. And why are we honoring you? You're one of those heroes that you just talk about. And tonight we're going to dig into your story. We're going to dig into your story. You're going to be sharing your story. Of course, we'll have some questions for it. And it's all pointed to your purpose, your journey, your odyssey to find purpose, and you're living that life, right? So we're going to be talking about that. And Donna said it's all about giving back. Scholarships, we'll be giving away scholarships. Students are free. And, that's always my favorite piece, that we'll be giving scholarships to students, because it's all about building the next generation. So that is what is up. So I want to touch a little bit before we get started on the main event for tonight. I'm going to play a video, and I'm going to ask Donna to really make some comments on it as well.
Caught in the web of what they said, lost in the expectations, living in hesitation. I walked in other shadows. Deep inside, a fire burned, a whisper turned to a roar. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within. From the shadows to the light, a new life begins, shining so bright. Society tries to mold you into someone you couldn't be.
Right. We're going to cut it there. Society trying to mold you into what?
Something you couldn't be.
Wow. And that's so huge. Donna, talk to us about Shadows Within. I know you're out there, you're building this thing, this project, and the reception, how people are receiving it is just amazing.
Yeah, so Shadows Within, yes, of course, it's going to be, and well, not going to be, it is an anthology. Speaking into existence, it is an anthology, and we will have between 20 to 21 co-authors. And really, it's just where we'll be sharing our stories in reference to how we have lived our lives, a majority of our lives, in other individual shadows or society shadows, with their expectation of what you should be doing, what you ought to be, even down to how you should dress, how you should speak, what you should say, what you should not say. That whole control mechanism to where society molded you into something that you probably get to a point you don't even recognize. You've lost yourself. You don't know who you are, right? And Shadows Within is really telling that story, how you have broken away from that. Now, how you've become liberated, where you've realized that all those expectations, you just could not fulfill them because it was not who you are, who you were called to be. And just breaking free from those chains and really telling your story and how you broke from that. And then how you become that person that you were really created to be, and now living authentically and definitely aligning with, right, our purpose, a collision with purpose, right? Going back to how you're finding yourself so you can really, really live a purposeful life.
Wow. A purposeful life. And that's what it's all about. So Juan, again, Shadows Within, we've all been there. I know I have.
Yes.
And in so many ways, I'm still there. I'm still trying to escape those footprints that I'm walking in. You know, and again, we should say that not all shadows are bad, but at some point you need to create your own path, walk in your own path, and be you, be your authentic self. And I think that's what Donna is getting at with Shadows Within. So Juan, just jump in on that, and then we're going to take a quick on-screen break, and then we'll come back to conversations that inspire action with the man himself, Mr. Juan Marcel.
Yes. You know, one thing I did want to say, just thinking about shadows, I read when I was doing the study on shadows, is that it's just a mass substance. And no, it has no mass. It's just a substance that has no mass. It doesn't even take up room. And it's amazing how it's this mass that covers or blocks an object from reaching the light, right? So it literally is it sits in between you and what's on the other. And I always tell myself that, you know, it's not real, you know, or sometimes it's not even a mass. It can't even, there's no substance to it. There's no sustenance to it. Just walk through it, you know, and it has the power to intimidate and make you think that it's more than what it is. And it's not. Literally, the light is on the other side. You just got to keep moving through it.
And I want to add that if there's a substance, you're it.
Yeah.
You're the energy.
Wow. Yeah.
And you're the one that ought to be walking and stepping boldly into yourself, into your authentic self. So as you said, it's nothing. Get out of it. Get out of it and be you. All right. So Appreciate that one. You know, we're going to take a quick break. Again, we'll stay on set as we take this break, and let's jump in with some iron.
A trail is written of hearts that strive. Through fire and flame, they find their way, becoming iron where courage holds sway. Becoming iron, with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight, becoming iron, shining in the night. Faces the darkest night. The empowered man fights with all his might. The resilient man stands unwavering and strong. The fired man knows where he belongs. Together they rise, conquering fears, becoming iron through trials and tears. Becoming iron.
Right. Welcome back. Welcome back to Bridging Generations, Voices of Men. We're having a life-changing conversation tonight, and the hope is that it will inspire action. And one, you know, there's no better way to lead off than becoming iron. Tales of courage and conviction, because that is the life that you have lived. And, you know, there are four descriptions here, four categories of men. And I want you to identify, place yourself in these categories.
Well, the category that I most I would say identify with is the resilient man. You know, he knows where he stands. You know, and when I look back and just think about everything, every experience that I've had, that's exactly what would describe me. As resilient. It takes a lot to keep me down. And that's what I've learned, and I stand on. So
So in other words, there's no keeping you down. You're resilient. You know exactly where you belong. So, you know, what I would like for you to share with us right now, tell us about a significant moment that, you know, helped to shape you into that resilient man, and it has made you into who you are today.
You know, one moment in I would say in my lifetime, I talk about this a lot, but was my divorce. I think a lot of where I was, in that season of my life is when I truly tapped into who Juan Marcel Smith Jr. truly was. And so it was my divorce. It was hard. It was unnerving. Broke me down. Just the fears, the doubt, but it brought up, what it did for me was this: it brought up issues and things that I wasn't aware that I struggled with, like abandonment, rejection, you know, and having to face those things head on, and sit in it and really deal and do my work is what just turned my life around. So, I literally, like you would say, I collided with my purpose in those moments.
Wow. So there is some level of disappointment, challenges, adversities, loss, abandonment.
Yes.
Yet you did something with it. How did you spin that into positivity?
You know, I woke up one day. When I mean wake up, I don't mean just open my physical eyes, but the eyes of my understanding. I remember going through and being at home alone, and you know, days would turn to nights, nights turn to days. Just time would go by, and I was just spinning on that couch, just slumped. And then one day, I heard my inner man, my spirit say, you know, is this how you want to end it? You have so much more life ahead of you. What are you doing? You allow this one situation to take you out, to take you down. And I remember in that moment, I was like, no, this doesn't define me. No, I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna rise above this. Like kind of like just coming like the phoenix from the ashes, right? And I got up, I went to counseling, and it was my counselor who helped me to realize that life shouldn't be so focused on proving myself as much as it should be focused on improving myself and doing my work. And from that, I decided I wanted to become a certified life strategies coach. So I started that process, schooling and everything. I got certified, and I took it to another level and became a master's certified life strategies coach shortly after that. And then I started my coaching and consulting business, Improve You Coaching and Consulting.
Donna, feel free to jump in with questions as you see fit. Juan, I hear you talk about purpose, and just give me a broad definition of what is purpose, and then I also want you to add what is your purpose into the mix, into the conversation.
I would define purpose as the reason why something or someone exists, why we are here. And mine, I would say, real just simply to equip, educate, and empower. I call it, the E3 effect. In everything that I do, that I attach myself to, that I commit myself to, that's pretty much my core values. So whatever I'm doing, I should be equipping, I should be educating. At the end of it all, I should be capacity that I'm serving or working in. It's helping people.
And it's all about living that life of in service life, being that servant leader that you are. That's what I'm hearing. So, you talk about, you define purpose and what you're here to do, what you're called to do. And you talk about improve your coaching and counseling practice. But what I want you to do, Juan, if you can, have you ever doubted your purpose? That this might not be what I'm here for? Have you had any doubts? And if so, how do you push through those moments of uncertainty?
I can't say that I have doubted it. I think when it clicked, and because I say this real quickly, and it's something I'm actually working on a project going. Actually believe that through that our purpose, who we are, echo sounding, in our ear, in our inner ear, from throughout life. That's why sometimes you can meet somebody and it felt like you've known them your entire life. Or you can run into somebody and you're going through something and they'll say something that you needed to hear. And you're like, how did you even know? It's because where you're going, who you're becoming, is already in motion. You're just on a journey to be. It just made sense. So yeah, I don't think I've ever doubted it. I think once I connected with it and collided with it, it definitely, I'm a servant.
Yeah. And I want to add that it's okay if someone is listening and they're having doubts. It's okay. Would you say it's okay if they are having
Absolutely.
doubts?
Absolutely.
And many of us, I find myself included, I've had my challenges with accepting what I'm called to do, why I'm here, and just fighting it off, or with some level of uncertainty, not sure if is this why I'm really here?
Yeah.
Am I wasting my time? Am I barking up the wrong tree? And things like that. It's why do I want to take on this work?
That part, yeah.
Those are doubts, because if you believe that this is why I'm here, then you don't question it. If you truly believe that, if you take it beyond your intellectual capacity, and now you understand it as something that you're here to do, then there's no questioning.
Yeah.
There's no questioning, right? So when you truly believe, you act.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we confuse believing with, intellectually, I get it. But that's not necessarily the full story, is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah. Donna, please jump in, please jump in. I want you to comment on what the conversation I'm having with Juan.
Yeah. So, first, I must say that, one, thank you for sharing a portion of your story, especially with having to go through a divorce. Because I think sometimes I know, and I'm not even asking a question, I'm making a statement now, right? Because oftentimes I think that we don't hear from our men
Yeah.
often enough how such a life change affects them as well, right? A lot of times we often hear about or female perspective of the emotion, all that stuff, and oftentimes we don't hear that from the men. So I commend you for sharing that, because that is very important for our audience to hear that men also go through those emotional challenges and things of that nature when you have something like that
Yes.
happen in your life, and you have to redefine yourself as well, right? It's not just
Yeah.
on the female side. But so with saying that, I would like to ask you, what do you foresee happening in the future for you? What does your future look like?
Oh, wow. I come from a long line of educators. So my mother, she's one of my aunts, and so I definitely know that there's something in some way, fashion, or form, I'm called to educate. And so at some point, I do want to, I want to open a community center. I want a community center, a school. I definitely see that in the near future. So that's what I'm looking to, and staying connected with the community, even on an official level, be it the school board or having a city office position, just having some a seat at the table when it comes to education, how students are educated, what they're being educated and taught with, things of the sort. So yeah.
So I see you wanting to be a change agent in our education system.
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know that as we walk through life, right? And it's not a perfect road, right? It's not always a paved road,
Not at
So
all.
there are challenges, there are setbacks. And how do you get back up? What motivates you to get back up, to get back on?
I always talk about is one thing I always talk about is knowing your why.
Mhm.
Um and reason I always stress it, especially doing workshops and different activities with students and mentees, because one thing I've learned from my own is that there are, like, and you kind of touched on this, Doc, there are moments in life where you start to second guess yourself, or you experience something traumatic, or just a hardship, or just I've had moments where everything was hitting at the same time, and I felt like my back was against the wall, and I'm just like, what option do I have? Should I keep pushing them? Am I going to make it? The question was, am I even going to make it through this? I should just stop now, find something else, And I had to remember why I accepted the call in the first place, why I committed myself to work to this service in the first place, and understanding that it's even through the pain and the dark days, I still was able to, I always say you got to crawl before you walk. So there were many days I was still laying down crawling, but I knew my why. I knew I had to get back to myself, because I had still had so much work, and so much. And so I crawled until I was strong enough to stand again. And even standing again, it still took some put one foot in front of the other. It was a process. But yeah, understanding your why.
Yeah, that why is your fuel. We talk about passion, purpose, and practice, and you've clearly defined your purpose. You've clearly defined your purpose, but I want you to talk to me about passion and your practice.
So we do apologize for freezing. We have some technical difficulties.
Um, but yes, so passion.
So, as I said earlier, something extraordinary is happening out there. There's a hurricane and it's actually heading directly into Atlanta and will be
Yeah,
in the early AM. And that's so unusual. Atlanta will experience a category 2 hurricane. That's unheard of, right? And I believe the effect is already taking place. And that is why we're having these challenges with our internet connectivity. So that is the story. But guess what? We walked through that. We lived through that. So, Juan, my question to you was, you've really touched and explained your purpose very well. Now, I want you to, if you're hearing me, I want you to talk a little bit about your passion and your practice.
am I?
Well, evidently, where Juan is, he's already experiencing the effect of the hurricane. So, Juan, you're back.
Yes.
Let's talk to
Am
us
I
about.
back?
Mhm. Talk to us about your passion and your practice.
Um, excuse me. But passion, yes, my passion is to definitely the youth and young adults. I absolutely enjoy and love working with them. To be a part of their journey, wherever I come in on their journey, to be a part of it, to help them discover what their pathway is, what their purpose is what I'm passionate about. To be that voice for them, that support. It means everything to me. I'm a product of good mentorship, and a strong village. And so I'll just look forward to being a part of the village. That's what I'm passionate about. It's helping them get from one area, one time, one phase of life to the next.
Mm. And what about your practice now? How do you get the energy to get back and do that routine, monotonous thing that is required daily?
I get excited. When I get up, of course, I consult my main consultant, uh, Holy Spirit. I talk to the Lord. I pray, and I get inspiration and energy just from those conversations. And I get so excited about it. I journal, I write the stuff down, and then I'm so eager to share it. And so when I'm introduced to somebody, or be it a new mentee or client or what have you, I'm excited about being a part of their journey and being able to help motivate them and encourage them, because the same stuff that was given to me to encourage me, to motivate me, I get excited about being able to pass it along,
Mm.
to give it, to help push them to where they desire to be. So
So, because of the nature and the significance of your work, there's no tiring.
no. um,
Mm. Can you walk us through some of your daily habits? What are some of the things you do on a daily basis to keep you in alignment with your calling, with your purpose?
there are I definitely, first thing, I've got into practice, my phone, it sits some distance away from me, because there was a time where I would wake up, the first thing I'm doing is checking emails and texts, and I stopped it, because I needed that moment to get to sit in where I was, stay in tune with me and then with God. So I get up, the first thing I say is good morning, Holy Spirit, because I'm awake, but you've been here. Here I am, and what services, what can I render unto you today? Because I always want to know you know, what the plan is, what his plan is. And then get up, start my day. I'm no good without, you know, my coffee or my lattes. That's just a given. Everybody that knows me knows I need my espresso.
I don't think you're alone there. If you look right above you, I think you will see someone who really needs to have her cup of coffee as well.
Yes.
I don't think you have to look very far. So Donna, I want you to jump in. You know, we're having life-changing conversation, and the intent is that it will inspire action for someone out there. Because when you hear the story that we're hearing from Juan, you know, from me, it's inspiring. And it is making me want to get up and recharge myself to get out there and do what I have accepted as my purpose, what I'm called to do. So Donna, please jump in.
Yeah, you know, one thing that one said that I'm probably gonna really have to adopt here is when you said you put the phone far away from you. So when you get
Yes.
up in the morning, the first thing you can do is, you know, say what you're grateful for and set your intentions, right? And center
Yeah.
yourself to get your day started. Um, because I know that a lot of us, you know, we live in a time now where so much is happening, so much social media, so much this, so much that, it's almost like we're living in a matrix of constant movement and
Yes.
pacing
Yes. Yes. Yes.
to where even though we're wanting to live a purposeful life and do the things that we're called to do, but sometimes because of all those other distractions, right? We sometimes can potentially have some misalignment
Yes. That's good.
um,
Misalignment. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
doing what we need to do. So I like what you said there to really be intentional about your time and how you're spending your time to make sure that you're aligned with what you're supposed to do at the beginning of your day
Yeah.
in the mornings. Yeah, I appreciate that. Because my phone is right next to me, so
You know, the word you said, intentionality, you know, that's a word, my word for it. That there are a couple of words I always get new words every year, start of every year, but intentionality has remained for the past 3 to 4 years. There was a time where I was of the mindset that things just happen.
Mhm.
It just fall on my lap, and I'm like, I don't know, I no longer had to change my mind. I want to be the person that goes after it, that makes things happen, you know, because I know what I'm called to do and the purpose is. So why am I waiting around? Like, it's almost like I'm waiting for permission.
Right.
So I said I was going to be more intentional with networking, with when I'm in the presence of others, introduce myself and just talk, you know. So whatever it is, like you said, when I get up in the morning, I'm very intentional about seeing where my mind is. Because for me, this is the start of the day, you know, and I need to know what the plan is for the day. Because like you said, there's so many other distractions. I start moving throughout the day, and it's almost like a transfer in some time or a projection of what, be it music or the airways, when you come in the company of other individuals who aren't like that, and they just project, and you're in the space that they're in, and you're trying to figure out, why do I feel this way? And
Mhm.
so if I'm intentional about where I want to be that day, what I know, you know, my to do and all of that stuff, even mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, that's what helps start me on my day.
Mhm. I think the question is, are you living your best life? And I'm going to take a quick break, play a video just for maybe a couple of minutes, and then we'll get back to talking to you, Juan, about legacy, impact. What is this work that you're doing, and how is it making a difference? All right. So as you watch this video, think about, are you living your best life? And I'm not talking to you, Juan or Don. I'm talking to anyone out there who's listening. Greetings, friends of the Eco-Religion with Purpose movement. Welcome to Daily Insights Unveiled. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. Today, I'm going to take you on a deep dive into a powerful and introspective journey. They say life answers are found in the questions you ask. And a question that I often ask myself is, am I living my best life? This question seems simple on the surface, but when we look deeper, it challenges the very essence of how we see ourselves and the truth of who we are. As I always do, let me begin this conversation with a question. What does best life really mean to you? Many of us chase the idea of what the best life should look like: a perfect career, relationships, success, or material comfort. But is that truly your best life? Or is it what society has told you it should be? Now, I want you to take a moment and ask yourself, am I pursuing what brings me genuine fulfillment? Or am I chasing someone else's version of success? While you're thinking about that, let me ask you another question. Who do I perceive myself to be? Sometimes we build identities around what others expect of us, our families, peers, and jobs. But when we strip away the titles, roles, and expectations, who are you? Who is in there? Are you living in alignment with your true self? Or are you trying to fit into a mold that doesn't quite feel like yours? Again, as you're thinking about that one, let me ask you another question. Am I being honest with myself? One of the most brutal truths is whether you live authentically. It is easy to convince ourselves that we're happy, content, or on the right path. But are you listening to that quiet voice within? The one that questions whether you're where you're truly meant to be? Now take a moment and ask yourself, where am I pretending to be okay when deep down I know something needs to change? These are not some easy questions to answer, are they? But let's do another question. What am I afraid to let go of? Living your best life often requires letting go. Letting go of fear, comfort, and outdated versions of yourself are just a few things you need to get rid of. Is there something in your life right now that you're holding on to because it feels safe, but is holding you back from your best life? What would happen if you let that go and trust the growth process? There's always the question, am I aligned with my purpose? Your best life is one where you're connected to your purpose. But purpose isn't always about grand gestures or monumental achievements. It's about finding meaning in your day-to-day actions, how you treat others, and how you pursue your passions. Are you living in alignment with your deeper purpose? Or are you simply existing, moving through life on autopilot? Now, we talk about the truth. So the question is, what is the truth about me? Deep down, we all believe that the truth is important. But the truth that really matters is, what is the truth about me? At the core of this conversation that we're having is the truth. Who are you when no one is watching? What do you truly want out of life? And what is stopping you from living that truth? Confronting your truth can be uncomfortable, but it is the only path to genuine fulfillment. My friends, today I encourage you to sit with these questions. Journal, meditate, or reflect. That is your choice. The truth about who you are will guide you toward living your best life. But you must first be willing to face it, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. Are you ready to uncover the truth about yourself, to shed the layers of perception, expectation, and fear? Only then can you begin to live your best life, the life that is meant for you, authentic, bold, and accessible. Until next time, Daily Insights Unveiled. Thank you and blessings always. And so that is that. Lots of questions there, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Wait.
Lots
Questions
of
that get you thinking.
Can you play that again?
I can't afford to watch that again. It's forcing me, it's asking me those questions. You know, not easy questions to answer, but
No.
necessary questions.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So, you know, are we living our best life? And that's what we're talking about here. We're having life-changing conversations that inspire actions. And we've been talking, and Donna, so much of what I just said in that video, or what is said in that video, is about shadows within. So much of it is what one is talking. It encapsulates everything that we talk about, right?
Yeah.
Everything, truth. And the thing that is most powerful for me is my truth. Yeah. So it is out there. It's posted on Facebook, and I guess it will be posted again. Check it out. That's what we do. We talk. That's part of Daily Insights Unveiled. And if you want to know how powerful and important Daily Insight Unveiled, your odyssey to find purpose is, it's stories like that you'll find in that book. Meditations, conversations, you'll find in that book. So you know, some questions will be asked of you. Then if you answer them honestly, you will find your purpose. So Juan, your thoughts. This is about you.
You know, what came to mind, you know, you were asking about those questions, and those questions are I'm gonna say the word triggering, you know, and they're thought provoking. And I just thought about shadows within. I thought about that there was a big part of my life where I lived in fear. And I really had to connect with the voice within, you know. When we talking about legacy and purpose and impact and all of that, and you struggle. Well, to speak from my personal perspective, I struggled with believing that I had impact, I had influence, you know, that I was capable of leading someone, coaching, you know, mentoring, any of that, just being, leaving a mark. Did I deserve it? Was I worthy of it? And so we talk about those shadows, and then for a long time I was running away from what I knew I was called to, because I was here, I was stuck here. And I wasn't allowing myself to just be me, to be free. I think to be free to be myself. Because like you talked about society, you know, family as well, you know, you have these systems, you have, you know, influences that will shape and mold you, even mold how you see yourself. Are your stature, you know, your voice, do you sound this way? Can you are you intelligent? Do you come, you know, will anybody even care if you're doing this? Are you marketable? There's all of these different questions you ask, but you're not asking yourself the right questions. That's the point I'm getting to. And the questions that, you know, there was just, you showed in that video, those are the right questions. You know, those are the questions you want to ask yourself, you know, because has all to do with self-discovery and self-awareness. You know, I think those are the right questions.
Yeah, and I will say that those are the questions, and we talk about practice, that not always easy to ask them, but I'm making a commitment to ask myself as many of those questions every day. And I'll be the first one to tell you it's not easy to ask them. It's commitment, right? To who wants to look in the mirror? Because you're not truly asking the question until you're looking at yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you ask those questions, and as you're thinking about the answers, then all these other questions are coming at you, because you always ask, okay, I have an answer. So what is that answer doing for me? How is that answer serving? We talk about alignment. How is that answer, aligned with who I believe I am, who I say I am? How is that answer? Is it in alignment? And if it's not in alignment, then you're fooling yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what? Wrong answer. You're making it up. And the worst thing you can do is fool yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, fool someone else, but you can't fool yourself. You know the truth. And that's why we talk about
truth.
Your truth. That is the one thing I'm trying, and it's not easy, bro. Donna,
No.
sister. It's not easy to confront the truth about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we're having life-changing conversations that inspire action. And tonight is with Juan Marcel. And I should announce that this is a show, a podcast that we'll be launching, where I'll be having conversations, life-changing conversations that inspire actions. And this show will probably start in a couple of weeks. And if you want to come and share your life-changing conversation, get in touch with us. Love to have you on, so yeah, the truth is what it's all about. So one, reflecting on your journey, because reflection is so important, right? What would you say is your most significant impact so far?
I would say I think becoming a voice for a generation. Over some time now, I've been able to connect with just different communities and families and agencies and organizations to advocate. I would say an advocate, to advocate for youth and young adults. That's the impact, I believe, is helping them realize that, number one, that you matter, right?
Mhm.
And that you have a voice. And I think the biggest thing is helping those who were either afraid or even didn't realize that they had a voice and that it mattered. Helping them to learn how to and develop the courage to speak up, to speak
Mhm.
out, and to speak up. I think that's the biggest thing, is helping individuals find their voice.
Mm. And I like that you say young adults, because that's what it's all about. That's the future, right? That's how you build communities. You can help me find my voice. Okay, great stuff there. But when you're building the new generation, because they will be the leaders of tomorrow,
Mhm.
and when you build
Yes.
them, that is direction. That is sense of purpose. That is where we're heading, right?
Yeah.
So I like that you say that, and that is your focus. That is your primary focus. So Donna, if you can, you want to jump in here, please?
Yeah. Those questions, like Juan was saying, definitely they're very thought-provoking and have me thinking here. So I don't even know how to jump in, because like so much is going through my head right now, that I'm having to think about some of those questions that was even presented in the video, and really having to really think about like purpose and why you're here, and if you're really doing what you're supposed to do, and if you're not, what's holding you back and how you get there. And
Yeah. Yeah.
and not just how you get there, but things that potentially you're still holding on to, that is blocking your growth, that you need to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Blockage.
yeah, and sometimes it's because of so many different things, right? So many different things, loyalty, or
Yeah.
once
Yeah.
again, expectations and things of that nature, and what someone may think of you, and all those different things. But in the end, that you're deep down, it's like that tug of war thing. You're not, you're not where you're supposed to be. There's more. Um, so and I think majority of us, we're in that world. We're in that space.
Mhm.
Majority of us. If someone say they're not in that space, you might want to think again.
Yeah.
Donna, I'm listening to you talk, right? And I've done many videos, haven't I?
Mhm.
But I'll tell you, this one more went into it to be as complete as possible, to touch on all the trigger points. And that's why best life came up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is number one question. Because
Yeah.
if we're doing all of these things, then chances are we're zoning in on our best life, right?
Right.
I don't know that we get there, but we're
Right.
zoning in. We're moving towards it. And we talk about the truth, letting go, and all those questions. And if, as you correctly said, rightfully said, that if you are saying otherwise, you're truly in denial, and you're not speaking your truth, and you're not living your truth, and you're only fooling yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No. Yeah. And yeah. That's what that is. That's so I thought I would play it tonight, and we played it. I didn't intend to play the full video, but I started to listen to the video. I couldn't stop it. I really couldn't. And my intent was to play 2 minutes. And then I started to listen, and I was asked, I was questioning, trying to answer the question. it had me trying to answer the questions, and I was looking at Donna, and I look at one, and I said, "Gosh, I'm really lost. I have some work to do."
Me too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I have some work to do. So, and again, it's to the point. If you're ever get the opportunity and you're listening to us tonight, listening period, make sure that your intent when you listen is not to come up with to respond, but to learn, to understand, to grow from the information.
Yes.
And that is so important. If not, you're listening in vain. And that is the one thing you never ever want to do. Again, we're on Bridging Generation, Voices of Men in a Changing World. And tonight we're having life-changing conversations that inspire action with my co-host, Collision with Purpose member, honoree at our colloquium in February 2020, what, 5? Yes,
2025. Yes. Wow.
these years. I don't even know where I am. And we're having this conversation with Juan Marcel. And, it's such an impactful, powerful conversation. So, Juan, we're talking about legacy and vision. Can you share your vision for your life? I know Donna had touched on that earlier. Can you share what is Juan's vision for his life?
I do believe that I'm a trailblazer and a trendsetter. And I think for my family, my community, stepping out and doing things that has never been done. And for me, that of course can be scary, but the vision that I have for my life is being at the forefront, on the front line, creating, building. I'm a builder, I'm a developer, and doing everything necessary to develop this lasting legacy that outlives myself. And that's what I'm working on. Everything I do, I'm building a legacy that those who come behind me, my daughter, and and mentees and just others come along, and they're able to walk, and carry it on. That's going to be right aligned. Excuse me. That's going to be right aligned with what the work that I committed myself to while I was here. So that is the vision for just being on the front line, setting a blaze to this trail so others can walk clearly down this path to destiny and success.
It's interesting that you're saying that, because others will be walking in your shadow. Well, what in your footsteps? So, and it's back to the point that you while we're not in the business of walking in the shadows of other people, it's okay if you're walking in the right shadows, right, Donna? You're the expert in this shadow thing, Donna. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's walking in the right shadow and taking the lessons from that, so that you can walk in your own shadow and not get stuck in someone else's shadow.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good indeed. So Juan, we talk about legacy and what you're doing and how you're going to empower the new generation, and you're doing that now. Who empowered you? Who helped you? Who are some of the folks in your life that help you to be on this platform tonight to speak so eloquently about your life, your story? Because I know you didn't do it by yourself.
No, I didn't. Man, I could be all day, but real short. I would have to start with who's at the very top. Is my mom. Man, you talking about bravery and courage and resilience. My mom was 19 in college when she got pregnant with me, and so to see her push through and finish her collegiate journey, and then graduated at the top with the child, and continue to thrive and to build and to learn and to grow, to move to a different state and strive to be not only just a good parent, but to become this individual that her kids would be proud of, and I've watched her grow up, and while watching her, she was allowed me to see the ups and the downs, and I've seen my mom bounce back so many times. And the message she's always had, my mom will always have a smile on her face, and even when things are the tightest, or it's low or just hard or dark, my mom never looked like what she was going through. She would always say, they never gonna see me sweat. And she's always been this caregiver, and just will give you a shirt off her back, even when it's the last shirt she has. She's gonna give it to you, because if you cold, she's gonna figure out a way to warm herself, but she's gonna make sure that you're good. And that's what I would have to give it to her, because she was very adamant about teaching her oldest son that how to take care of himself. When it came to balancing a checkbook at a very young age, how to write a signature, how to introduce myself, to stand up when I'm shaking someone's hand, to hold my head up and make eye contact when I'm speaking to someone. Just all of those things, of course, as a child, you don't realize what is shaping and molding. But now I get so many compliments. Sometimes people say, you express yourself so well. You're so articulate. And in my mind, I'm just like, how else am I supposed to be? But I know where I come from. My mom was very adamant about the no. You go, and one thing I would say for my mom, she's one of the hardest working people I know, and she always said, quit waiting for somebody to put it in your hand. Go get it, or make it yourself. You want it, go work for it. And she was adamant about that. Very much adamant about that. And education was number one. We weren't allowed to miss school for nothing. And I mean absolutely not a thing, and so that's why now I love education so much, because I was pushed and forced, but it became an interest and a passion, so I would definitely have to say my mom. She's at the top.
You're truly a product of your environment, the ecosystem that you grew up in. Clearly, education is so big. Her resilience. Now you're the resilient man. You know, that's who you are. So she really, man, she really made an impact. And what talking about footsteps, right? Great footsteps to walk.
Yes. Yes.
You know, great shadows to be in. And
Yeah. Yeah.
right. So, and then you're doing that so well. I commend you for that. You know, and just continue to do it, man. You know, because you're doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it, and do it till you can't do it anymore. It's my
Yes.
suggestion.
Absolutely.
Do it till you can't do it anymore. You know, I, I have one more question before we go to our closing argument, and I would like for you to all of this stuff you're talking about encapsulate your life's mission, your work, in one powerful message. Share that message with us.
I would have to put it this way, and this is I'm taking this from a great and Dr. Maya Angelou. I one thing I live by, and it goes this way: when you get, give; when you learn, teach. And that's it. You got it, give it. You learned it, teach it.
You know, after a message like that, we should just say good night. Because what else is there to say, right?
Yeah.
But I also want Donna to add her piece.
Like, how can I add anything after that message? Oh my gosh. They dropped the mic, it's done. Wow. Yeah, I look forward to spending so many more years working with you. You're such an inspiration, and I'm just excited the path that we're going down and how everything has worked out to where we're working together. And I know it's not by accident. I know the work we're doing is not by accident, and I know that we have a huge task ahead of us, but I'm confident that we're going to see and do great things, and we're going to impact a lot of individuals' lives.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And as Donna, as you bring up future stuff and the work ahead, one, I want you to share with those folks out there listening, what are some of the initiatives that you're working on now and will be working on in the future?
Well, personal initiatives. I'm developing now a curriculum for a mentorship program. So it's called Becoming You, which is, of course, I stay with this whole you thing, just like my company and my practices, Improve You. This will be Becoming You. And so I'm working on that with some community partners, just getting some gleaning from them, learning some things, getting some certifications, but I'm working on building that and even building that brand. So that's one of the major ones that I'm working on. I have 2 books that I'm currently working on. So I'm looking to at least have one complete by this time next year. So those are 2. And then, of course, the great work, excuse me, that I'm partnered with a Collision with Purpose, with the Global Humanity Network, and just the work through that, just loving it, everything it's about. And just there's one I definitely want to promote with the Entrepreneur University. With CEO Tiffany Young, very big about that, her taking this initiative to really teach young adults and teens about owning their own, because oftentimes they find themselves not invited to the table. So she's teaching them how to build the table, how to design the chair to put at the table so they can sit down. So the Entrepreneur University is one that I'm working on. I'm a part of, I'm excited about. So it's a couple of things that's going on right now, initiatives and programs and projects.
A man out there doing many things, not just one thing, not just 2. He's involved, he's here, he's there. But I will say this, that everything you're doing points to one thing. It's service. It's giving back. It's making a difference. And that is why it is possible for you to do all these different things, because it's geared towards that one thing, giving back. So there's alignment with all the things that you're doing. Often you hear people say, how can you do all these things, all these things? When you're working and living and walking in your purpose, you're able to do these things because there's a line and there's intentionality and all that good stuff. All that good stuff. Donna, any other closing comments before I close off?
No, I just wanted to say, the power is flickering, guys. I just want to say thank you for the invite, for having me on the show this evening. I really enjoy being here with you both.
Oh, likewise. It's not the same without you, Donna.
All right. Thank you, Donna. And again, I want to put it out there. This show is actually a preview of a show I will be doing called Life-Changing Conversations That Inspire Action. And tonight, Mr. Juan Marcel did inspire action. And I know he did it for me. And I'm sure if you're listening or will listen to this replay, he will inspire actions for you as well. So Juan, as always, man, working with you, I learn, I grow through working with you. And just continue to do that because I want to continue learning and growing. So keep pouring into us, all right? Because I'm committed to living in a learning space. And I'm also talking to anyone out there who's listening that in life, the true essence of becoming your best you is to commit to learning, and utilizing the information that you're learning. So that is my piece. If you're listening, make that commitment to personal development. So thanks again, Juan, for jumping in the hot seat. You're normally the host of this program, and Donna, as always, I appreciate you, and you're doing some amazing stuff. So I'm going to have you in the hot seat as well. You will be in the hot seat very soon because you're doing so much work that you need to share it. You need to talk about it as well. Absolutely. So when I kick off the program, as always, you're always the first person who I bring on. I don't want to say you're the experiment, but you are the person that I learned to build my, it's a safe place and I can make mistakes just like I can make mistakes here in this platform having conversations with Juan. And it's okay because it is okay to make mistakes. We all grow when we make mistakes. And we accept them. Right? Isn't that how it works?
Yes.
When we're not trying to cover them again, when we're being truthful.
No losses, only lessons.
There you go. So, all right. So let's take it out with the Bold Kids. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this rainy night in Georgia. The hurricane is coming, but we will not be stopped by it. We will continue to move forward as we always do. Good night.
I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth. Cause I know to whom I belong, I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Loving others as He told me to pray for healing, miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, He is in me. I am a bold kid, He loves me, standing firm on His word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because He is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
blessing come out of my mouth, because I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying his presence.